So I actually recently just started with insulin this week. I've never done it before. I did my research for literally a whole fucking week on it because these things, they kind of scare me. You know, that's not a game. All right. So to talk about my recovery stack at the moment, I wrote them down in my notes. Actually, I write everything down in my notes, my meal plans, my training plans, everything. So to start off with what I have been using to really help my skin, my hair, vision, endurance, whatever it is, metabolic rate, etc., and even digestion. So the first thing is NAD+. Guys, I'll tell you what I've been doing. So I split the dose into twice a week, and each time it's 100 mgs per ml. That's what I'm doing, 100 mgs. And you know what? The minute I do it, 2 minutes later, a burst of energy it's unbelievable. Like I feel like I have to do a lot. It's like, okay, I need to clean the house, I need to meal prep, I need to feed the dogs, take them out, go for my 8K walk, all these things in within a span of like 2 hours or 3 hours max. And it also helps with cellular rejuvenation. So any dead cells in, skin or whatever, it helps that. So I take it fasted. I also take it with Glow, which is a blend of BPC 157, CB 500, and GHKUC, I believe. And those help your digestion, your joints, skin, hair, all these things. I also stack it up with MOTS-c and KPV. KPV is used for systemic inflammation. So if you're having like an intense workout, you're training really hard, the next day, most people, they gain like 3 pounds after like they were 2 pounds and they're like watery. So the KPV really helps with no inflammation, keeping that down. And it also helps your gut insanely well. So ever since I've been using it, I have no bloating, no indigestion, nothing. And I usually take it after workout. So immediately post-workout, I take 300 micrograms. So that's like 0.3, or I take it fasted on rest days. So let me explain. I've been using Retatrutide all throughout prep. I didn't like it. It distends your waist because of slow gastric emptying, and it can give you indigestion. So the food sits longer in your stomach. Yes, it's great for insulin sensitivity, fat loss, etc., all these things. But see, MOTS-c gives you that, the insulin sensitivity, the insane energy, and the fat loss without that distension. And it's also not an appetite suppressant, but it does the same thing. If you're using something for insulin sensitivity, then just go for MOTS-c, right? So this is why I've swapped that to MOTS-c, and I take it pre-workout, 0.3 as well. It's 300 micrograms, not milligrams, micrograms. And it gives me a boost of energy like insane. Then I didn't start with this one yet, but I will. It's called Tesamorelin. And what it does is it kind of tells your body to start secreting its own GH, etc., all these things. But it's also a visceral fat burner. So it keeps your waist snatched like crazy. I've heard that a lot of wellness girls do that. So I'm going to try it, see how it goes the first 2-3 weeks. You don't want to run it for too long, maybe 6 weeks total. And I believe it's a 1 mg every day, fasted. Obviously, I'm taking GH, I use pre-bed. I also take the whole stack. And I take L-Carnitine 400 mgs pre-training, and then glutathione, There's one more thing, It's insulin. That's what I was about to say. So I actually recently just started with insulin this week. I've never done it before. I did my research for literally a whole fucking week on it because these things, they kind of scare me. That's not a game. So you want to make sure that it's very well timed with your meal, with your training session, and to your carbs, to your carb intake. Also, you always want to make sure you're using the fast acting one, which is Humalog or Novolog. Those two. I'm using Humalog, and I waited until I tapered my food into a good amount so that I can actually use it. It's not ideal to use it when your food is still very low. So most of my food right now is pushed around pre-training and post-training. And then I split. Most people, they like to do their insulin post-workout only. I like to do it pre and post. So it depends on what your goal is, right? If it's for pump, nutrient partitioning, whatever, all these things, take it pre. For post-workout, it helps recovery. So I decided to split it. 2 IUs pre-workout, 1 IU post-workout. Again, to 1 IU, it can cover up, well, I would say 50, 45 grams of carbs. That's my calculations. Any lower than that, I don't think that would be good for me. So I make sure that the meal has a total of like 90 grams of carbs. I use with that. What else? Yeah. So that's it. And the pump that it's been giving me is crazy. My strength has been, with all that in combination, obviously, my strength has been going up really fast. But oh, like I said, I do time it in a sense. I actually take it right after my pre-workout meal. And let me explain why. Why not before? That's because I have a little bit of fats with that meal, and that can slow gastric emptying a little bit. So you always want to make sure that when you're using insulin, you're having fast-acting carbs in. So like cream of rice, etc. Make sure that they're fast-acting. And within 45 minutes, insulin peaks. So within 45 minutes, I'm training, right? That's why. Yeah, I'm on no gear. I actually discussed this with Raj right now and Nick. Actually, Nick told me that months ago. He told Raj, he's like, she does not need gear. Which, seeing the way I've been going, how I maintain size, the peptides are enough to, I recover very fast. I don't feel any low after the show. I actually feel great, actually much better. And my performance has been going up and all that. I personally would rather stay healthy and not run any gear and just stick to peptides. So I'm going to test it out and I'm going to see how I go in the next 2-3 months, right? Anyway, I need a long off cycle, but let's see 2-3 months with this, how I go. But I think I'm not going to run anything. Like, this is the way I'm looking, the way I'm progressing with those peptides. That's insane. I look really good. So I'm happy not to run anything, you know, it's not bad. But yeah, that would be my protocols. I currently, for people who ask about my meals, I mentioned already that the calories and macros, they're split into 7 meals a day. And then on rest days, they are split into 6 meals a day. And rest days is 3,100 calories, same protein intake, 247, T3 carbs, and then 77 fats. So that's where I'm at right now. Salt intake is at 10 grams. I measure, this is another thing that I do with myself and my clients. I measure the potassium that I'm taking in from foods, and I make sure that I have a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2 sodium to potassium ratio. That will help with fullness, with training, performance, all these things. You want to make sure that the ratio from sodium to potassium is that, not any lower. I know that, and you want to keep it consistent. I know a lot of people actually look terrible when their potassium is too low in ratio to sodium. So make sure that those are tracked. And if I need to add any extra without adding any calories in from foods, then I would get a potassium chloride supplement powder and I'd just measure it to make up for the lost potassium from food. Oh my God, I'm tired. If you have any questions, let me know in regards to training, PEDs, peptides, cardio, whatever it is, food. I'm more than happy to share. I actually really love talking about this. So drop down below what you guys have as questions and we'll make sure to answer that later. Bye. Like and subscribe.